Hey everyone, it is Havohai here bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We are talking global, because global is where it's at. I told you guys previously in our discussions, previous videos, that global is on the right path and there's no shafting involved. It's doing great, and the end of January is going to be fantastic for global players, because we are getting I did a video yesterday. I did a lot of videos yesterday, but I did a video on the news break for part 2 celebration that just landed with 3.71 update. And if you want to go into details about that, go ahead and feel free to look at that previous video. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're first time to my channel, feel free to like, subscribe, and of course comment below. But we're going to be talking about the new units. We're going to do an overview on the new characters here, and I'm going to really rank these units from the level of hype for what I had, because the level of hype for these characters changed from yesterday to today, and I'm going to rank them kind of how I would want to get them as soon as possible. So with that, let's go ahead and start first with the so I'm going to cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So this will be number 5. So starting off with number 5 card that I'm hyped for. It's one card in general. One's in a sense going to be Dokkan Awakening. Is going to be the AGL free-to-play. That's going to be on the new story mode that's dropping today, later on today. And this is the AGL SR that Dokkan awakens into an SSR. And I love the card art here. It's of course Vegeta, and in that moment when Beerus hits Bulma. So this is a really great card art. I wish the SR wasn't just that. I would even like that as an SSR, right? So the SR on the left there. So, but it goes into the SR's Furious Transformation, Super Saiyan 2, Vegeta, and Bulma. Great free-to-play card, really based on his passive skill. His passive skill is +3 to key attack and defense 50% when facing one enemy, but also has a counter. It's not with tremendous power, it's with enormous power, but he has a counter. This is the first free-to-play card that, for you free-to-play players out there, that you can actually have as a character that counters normal attacks. So fantastic unit for you players out there that aren't spending any money and are looking for a Super Vegeta-like card, and this is it right there. So most of you guys are going to be feeding this into the card I'm going to be talking about later, but great unit here. But he starts with number 5 because he is the free-to-play SR to SSR. Let's go ahead and move on to a summonable card. So the banner of this one would be dropping later on today, and this is the new Beerus. And I call the one to the left is Pimpan Beerus, because this is when right before he smacks Bulma. And the card art for Beerus, it's alright, it's good, but Beerus is unfortunately, for some odd reason, not getting the OP type stats that you would think a God of Destruction would get, because he Dokkan awakens to the one to the right, and he is the Wayward God Beerus. He has a leader skill. He has a nuker leader skill, which is kind of weird. Nuking has kind of been obsolete for a while now, but int type attack 33% per int key sphere obtained. I guess if you ran him with a int LR Gohan, he would just hit ridiculously crazy. But anyway, I probably wouldn't use that leader skill. His super attack is the God of Destruction, Edict, and supreme damage to enemy, which is weird for a SSR summonable card, getting just supreme damage and enemy to the enemy, and raises defense by 30% for 6 turns. But his passive skill is pretty good. He does 120% super attack, God's Judgment, and you know, he's in a sense going to be the hardest hitting Beerus, I would think, with that 120% with a 140% multiplier. So he's alright. He's not as good as, like I said, as good as the other cards I'm going to be talking about, but a little underwhelming for a new Beerus card. The tech one isn't very good, and this one will be kind of second tier to some of the units in the Super Int category, but he will still fit really good into the 120 Neo God Int Gogeta team. So that rounds up number 4 there. Let's go to number 3, and this is a surprise that this ended up as number 3 for me, and the hype factor is actually LR Trunks has now dropped to 3. He was number 1 last night, but after finding out some information in the final 2, LR Trunks is now number 3 in my hypeness ranking here. And but we've already covered Trunks. I won't go too deep on this. Second Super Saiyan Trunks, the LR. He rounds out as the last 90% LR God lead for physical types. The reason why he's so hyped and a lot of people really wanted this character here because his passive skill is attack 120% and with a high chance of a critical hit. So he has an internal critical hit dynamic within his passive, and the high chance is 50%. He has a 50% chance to do a critical hit, and so he's going to really help out the Hybrid Saiyans team. So if you did pull Strength Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, he will fit really nice in that team, along with the Super Physical team for Super Saiyan 3 God Tanks. Or Neo Tanks, whatever we call them there. So that is number 3. So what's number 2? There's only 2 more cards. Number 2 and number 1 was really hard for me, but actually number 2 ended up being LR Vegeta Blue. Now the reason why LR Vegeta Blue is not as hyped as the number 1 is because 1, we've been waiting for this guy for a long time, and 2, we still kind of can't get him yet. So, but we have the details for him. We have the details for the all or nothing Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, or Vegito Blue, whatever you want to call him on there. So he's the LR lead, and hey, I called it. I called pretty much all this. His leader skill is going to be Super Type Ki +3, HP and Attack and Defense 70%, which I thought that would be his leader skill. His super attack is going to be the Kaioken dynamic for the 12 to 17, and then a greater raises attack for just 1 turn for the 18 plus. His passive, he doesn't have no name for it yet, but kind of a little bit disappointed, but still he's going to be an amazing unit, especially like I said, he's another free-to-play unit that you free-to-play players can get on here, and his passive is plus 80% attack and defense and raises the ki up to 10, less HP remaining the greater the ki boost, and this was a pattern. We saw this coming from the SSR to TUR to this, but I was hoping that this card would get a counter dynamic or a additional tag dynamic or something of that nature, but he's not, and that's okay because he's still the best, bar none, the best free-to-play LR, no doubt about it. And he actually takes over on the leader skill for physical Vegeta Blue, because the physical one is only plus 30 ki, HP and attack defense 50%. This one here is 70%, making him a god lead in a sense for super type characters on here. And I foresee we're going to probably get a free-to-play one for the counterpart, and probably a Rose. I would say we'll probably get a free-to-play Rose with the 70% as well, or maybe a summonable one, who knows, on that. So his details there, his maximum super attack is going to be 20, which increases his SA multiplier additional 30%, so his 24 ki multiplier is 200%. His stats are kind of where I thought it was going to be, due to the fact of his Kaioken mechanic. He can stack really well, and he is number two in my hype category for these new units on Global. What's number 1? Well, hey, you know what? I'm a Vegeta fanboy, and once I saw the stats for this card here, I was blown away. This card here, the Strength Vegeta Bulma, is going to be the best TUR in the game. So is he worth summoning for? Absolutely 100%. He is on the #1 hype meter in my ranking here, and here's the reason why. Here's the stats, here's the information. It is the Outburst of Emotion, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma. His leader skill, it's super type, plus 3 to key, HP, attack, and defense 40%. I don't care about the leader skill. Let's talk about his super attack and passive. That what makes him, him and her, it's Vegeta and Bulma, the best, or I won't say the best, but the hardest hitting TUR in the game, in global that is right now, and that's his super attack greatly raises the attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to the enemy. Once again, it's still lower in on the supreme damage and not immense damage, but that's okay. Maybe he gets a bump in the future, who knows, but this card's already too OP. So it's a 50% raise. That's what greatly raises attack is, a 50% raise. And his however, his passive skill, this is where it was, in my opinion, unbelievable. So LR Vegeta Blue didn't get a counter, but Vegeta and Bulma got a counter. And on top of that, he gets a flat attack and defensive boost of 100%. That's right, he counters and gets a attack and defense 100%. This sounds like a Vegeta Blue, LR Vegeta Blue card, but it is a summonable Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma. So I want you guys to think about it. He counters with a tremendous power. It's the same thing as Super Vegeta, the AGL that broke the game, a year and a half ago. But on top of that, he gets an attack boost of 100% and his super attack is SA boost of 50%. So 150% boost on a Super Vegeta. What would that look like on a Super Vegeta? It would be crushing, and that's what this card is. That's what this card is 150% additional attack on top of what Super Vegeta would do, but now this card, and then he has a rage mechanic, which it's a HP, it's under 30% here, which I'm wondering if he counters when he's in rage. If he's counters in rage and you actually go rage for once only, and your HP goes below 30%, that's gonna be incredible because you're not gonna take any damage, and he's just gonna counter every single attack that the enemy does. So yeah, crazy stuff. His key multiplier is 145%. So all in all, the Reddit did the DBZ Reddit did a calculator. Some individual there did a calculator, and he is right now the best or the hardest hitting TUR in global in the game. So he is now #1. He and she both, Vegeta and Bulma, is my #1 hype card coming to global, and they're dropping tonight, and I'm going all out. I want to get at least a minimum of 2 dupes to open up top left and bottom right, and I normally don't like to rainbow or open up all 4 paths in their beginning, their first banner. But this is a card that it would be hard pressed for me not to wanting to go even rainbow on this individual. So yeah, anyway, that's #1. So when is all this happening? Well, the Indomitable Saiyan Prince with Beerus and with Vegeta is dropping later on today, whenever this is recorded, around 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. So it's going to drop at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 13 hours from now. So the LR Vegeta is not being able to LR yet, but we're able to TUR. So we have the Supreme Kai Trials added, and then the LR Trunks banner is going to be dropping on Sunday. That would be the 21st of January. So that's where all these are going to be introduced. We don't know when the LR is going to happen yet. The details on that, we don't have enough medals yet, but hopefully soon. So anyway, that is my hype ranking for all these new units that are dropping on global. It's amazing stuff. It's fantastic. Can't wait to start playing this new story mode and start buying stones and summoning for the new Vegeta, Vegeta Bulma. So look out for my summoning video upcoming. And once again, if you're new to the channel or if you've been thinking about it, like, subscribe, and comment below. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time.